Get back. Air in the atmosphere exerts pressure on the surface of the earth, we saw last time. Then what happens because of this? There are phenomena which will occur, that is storm and precipitation. Why these two phenomena will occur? It is only because of the air pressure. Due to air pressure, these various phenomena like storms and precipitation occur in the atmosphere. Then we saw that the air pressure on the surface of the earth is not equal. Okay, air pressure is not uniform. We saw that air pressure keeps on changing from time to time. It is not same everywhere. Even it keeps on changing from time to time. So here you can see air pressure keeps on changing from time to time. Then moving ahead, we saw the factors affecting the air pressure. Just take a recall if you remember the factors affecting the air pressure. The first factor was altitude. I explained you the height, altitude of any region which affects the air pressure. Second factor was the temperature of that region. Third factor was the water vapor, amount of water vapor in the air, the moisture in the air, the water vapor in the air, third factor. Then we also saw that amount of dust, water vapor and heavy gases, it is very high close to the surface of the earth, and as you go away from the surface of the earth, it will decrease. What will decrease? Amount of dust, water vapor and heavy gases. This is the altitude. Then we saw that as you move higher and higher, as you move away from the surface of the earth, air becomes thinner and thinner. As you move away, that is higher and higher, air will become thinner and thinner. Then we saw the example I gave you about a flying lantern, where the candle is lit, and because of the heat of this candle, the air inside this lantern gets heated up. It becomes lighter, and that's why when the air becomes lighter in weight, it expands because of the heat. And this helps the lantern to be lifted up towards the sky. Then we also saw that the temperature and air pressure are related to each other. How they are related to each other? When the temperature is high, air pressure becomes low. And when the temperature is low, air pressure becomes high. Then we saw that this is the equatorial region in the center. The temperature is high over there because of the rays of the sun. So what will happen to the air? Air gets heated up. It will move upwards slowly. Why? Because after heating, the air expands and it becomes lighter, and this lighter air will move upward slowly. So the temperature rises, air gets heated up, it becomes light and rise upwards. So air pressure in such area, what will happen to the air pressure over here? It will decrease. Why? Because the temperature has increased, air pressure will decrease. Rise in temperature, decrease in air pressure. Then I explained you about how the rays of the sun are falling on the earth. See here, this is your equator. The center imaginary line is your equator. And many a times I told you that near the equator, the rays of the sun are perpendicular. That means they are falling straight. Rays of the sun are perpendicular. So heat received from the sun near the equator will be more straight because the rays of the sun are straight. What will happen to the heat received towards the poles? It will be less. Why? Because rays of the sun are slanting. It is not reaching properly towards the poles. Rays are slanting. And because of this rays of the sun, what you receive on the earth, different temperature zones are created. We saw the temperature zones also. See, this red line is your equator at 0 degree, and in between 23 degree north to 23 degree south, torrid zone. Your earth is divided into different zones. So which are the zones? Torrid zone, temperate zone, frigid zone. Okay, again I'll repeat: torrid, temperate and frigid. Now what is the extension of torrid zone? And what is it torrid zone? Near the equator, rays of the sun are perpendicular. So which zone is formed? Torrid zone. What is the extension of the torrid zone? 0 degree to 23 degree 30 minutes north, 0 degree to 23 degree 30 minutes south. This is the extension of the torrid zone. Now, what about temperate zone? The extension of temperate zone is 23 degree 30 minutes north to 66 degree 30 minutes north. This is the extension from here to here. North and as well as in the south also. 23 degree 30 minutes south to 66 degree 30 minutes south. Okay. Now from here, the third zone, frigid zone, polar regions, cold temperature. So the extension is 66 degree 30 minutes north to 90 degree north pole. Similarly, 66 degree 30 minutes south to 90 degrees south pole. Okay, so you know now the different temperature zones: torrid zone, temperate zone and frigid zone in both the hemispheres. You know the extension also now, how it extends from where to which latitude. As I told you before, there are total 360 latitudes. 180 in the north and 180 in the south. So these are the latitudes. You know, if you know the imaginary lines, 0 degree equator, this is what? 23.5 degree north or 23 degree 30 minutes north, Tropic of Cancer. This one in the south, Tropic of Capricorn. So the torrid zone extension is from Tropic of Cancer to Tropic of Capricorn. Heat received from the sun is uneven. Uneven means not equal. Here, perpendicular, and near the poles, it is slanting. It is less. Now, equator, Tropic of Cancer, as I told you, Tropic of Capricorn, your North Pole and your South Pole. Rays of the sun are perpendicular. You can see the perpendicular rays falling near the equator. Wherever the rays of the sun are perpendicular, the temperature is high. That means where will be the temperature high? Near the equator. Why? Because from Tropic of Cancer to Tropic of Capricorn, the rays of the sun are perpendicular. So the temperature over here is high. Then pressure will be low. Opposite it will be. Now here, let us see from here now pressure belts and planetary winds. Boys, see this in the center is your equator at 0 degree, correct? And as I told you, the temperature at the equator is high. So when the temperature is high, what will happen to the air? Air will get heated. It will become lighter. Okay. And then it will move upward. So air becomes lighter because of the heat. It expands and it moves upwards. So when the air moves upwards, what will happen? Air pressure will becomes less over here. Where? Near the equatorial region. And that's why which pressure belt is formed? Low pressure belt. That means when the temperature near the equator is high, pressure will be low. Low pressure belt will be formed. And what is the extension of equatorial low pressure belt? 5 degree north to 5 degrees south. Again, I'll repeat, air gets heated and it expands and move up. And that's why the pressure is low over here and temperature will remain high. Now, what will happen to that air which moves up? It will settle down here near the Tropic of Cancer this year, mid-latitudinal. This is mid-latitudinal. So when the air will move upwards in both the hemispheres, it cools down. When it cools down, the temperature will be low. In both the hemisphere, it will cool down here in these latitudes. So the temperature will be low. Now guess, if the temperature is low over here, then which pressure belt will be formed? Low temperature. So which pressure belt? High pressure belt. So mid-latitudinal high pressure belt is formed in both the hemispheres. Okay, I hope this is clear to you all. Temperature is high, pressure belt will be low. Here what will happen? The air settles down, cools down. So the temperature is low. Air pressure will be high. A high pressure belt will be formed in the mid latitudes. Mid means in between, middle latitudes. Mid latitudinal high pressure belt will be formed in both the hemispheres. What is the extension? 25 degree north to 35 degree north, 25 degree south till 35 degree south latitudes. Okay, in both the hemispheres. Now let us see ahead. Here what will happen? Which pressure belt will be formed? Here it is low, here it is high. Which pressure belt will be formed over here? Now look at the diagram. Here the space is very less. Our Earth's curvature, this is a curve, na? The curvature area has become less over here. So if the Earth's curvature is less, the friction will also be less. There will be less friction. Which pressure belt will be formed? Due to the Earth's curvature, the area between the two latitudes will reduce. Area is very less because of this less friction and air and the Earth surface, okay, between the air and the Earth surface. So air is thrown out because of this friction and a rotation of the Earth. So which pressure belt is created over here? Low pressure belt. Why? Air is thrown out. That doesn't mean that this low pressure means high temperature. No, there is no high temperature over here. The temperature in the subpolar region is not high. It is because the air is thrown out. Air is thrown out, less friction, and because of this Earth curvature, temperature is high. But here, which pressure belt is formed? Low pressure belt is formed. Temperature is not so high over in the subpolar regions. What is the extension of this subpolar low pressure belt? 55 degree to 65 degree north and south latitudes. And see near the poles, North Pole and South Pole. Here what will happen? Towards the poles, temperature is very, very less. So when the temperature is less, which pressure belt will be formed? High pressure belt. Polar high pressure belt in both the hemispheres. Temperature less, high pressure belt. So you can see alternate belts are formed: low pressure belt, high pressure belt, low and high. Okay, now let us see. Can you see these arrows? These are the direction of winds. Now see here, near the equatorial low pressure belt, which winds are blowing? Which winds are flowing? There's a flow of which winds? Easterlies. Easterlies are the winds which are blowing over here. Always remember, winds will always blow from high pressure towards the low pressure. And that's why the arrow is also marked in that way. Whenever you are drawing the diagram, do not mark the arrows anyhow, because those arrows indicate the direction of winds. And winds will always move from high pressure area towards the low pressure. Here also you can see this arrow, opposite here, high pressure to low pressure. Here also, high pressure to low pressure. Winds will always move from high pressure area towards the low pressure area. So near the equatorial low pressure belt, which winds are blowing? Easterlies. Then which are the winds between mid-latitudinal and subpolar low pressure belt? Which are the winds over here blowing in both the hemispheres? Westerlies. Westerlies are the winds which are blowing in the mid-latitudinal high pressure to subpolar low pressure in both the hemispheres. Okay. And we saw polar winds. The third is the polar winds. Where are the polar winds? Near the poles, North Pole and the South Pole. Polar regions, what is the temperature? 0 degree. Temperature is 0 degree, low temperature. Which pressure belt is formed? High pressure belt. You should always remember this. We studied about the temperature zones and we studied about the pressure belts. So temperature zones are continuous, okay, and they spread from equator to the poles, from torrid zone to frigid zone. Pressure belts, they are not continuous. Areas of high and low pressure, they are always found in different regions from equator to the poles. What is the unit effects? Let us see the effects of air pressure. What happens because of the air pressure? Winds are generated. Origin of winds. Winds are generated. Even storms are generated. Generation of storms. Effects of air pressure. Generation of winds. Generation of storms. And generation of convectional type of rain. Now, what do you mean by convectional type of rain? Look at the picture. You can see the clouds over here. Okay. Now, these clouds will rise higher and it will give rain to that area. But these clouds, when they rise higher, this part, the opposite part of this is a mountain. This is an obstacle. The obstacle of that is a mountain. So one side of the mountain, the region will get rainfall, and the other side of the mountain will not get rainfall. Okay, this is known as convectional type of rain. So what is the effect of air pressure? Convectional type of rain. You can see here, all the regions of towards the left will have rainfall, and to the right, it will not rain. Why? Because the mountain is an obstacle. Now, it also affects the breathing activity. Means air pressure affects the breathing activity. That's why I told you, when the mountaineers climb the mountain, they go at a higher altitude, they carry the oxygen cylinders. Yes. Why? It affects the breathing activity, low oxygen level. Now this picture is in your textbook. Yes. What are these lines? These blue lines which are running now. You know this equator, Tropic of Cancer. and Tropic of Capricorn. Which are these blue color lines? These are nothing but your air pressure lines. Okay. But what are these lines? These are the lines which are joining equal air pressure. You can see here 1013, 1016. That means all the areas on the same line will have the same pressure. So there are different lines. But what are these lines known as? Lines on a map. Okay, you can see lines on a map having joining the places of equal pressure. Equal pressure. These lines are known as isobars. Lines on a map joining the places of equal pressure are called isobars. Okay, so you know now what are isobars. Let us see what is the unit of air pressure. Unit means how it is measured. Air pressure is measured in the units called millibars. Okay, and what is this instrument? This is an instrument which is used to measure air pressure. I hope you guessed the name of the instrument. Yes, barometer. The barometer is the instrument which is used to measure air pressure. So you know which is the unit of air pressure? Millibars. And line joining the places of equal air pressure, isobars. And the instrument used to measure air pressure, barometer.